Hello and welcome back to None Shall Intrude. Now, this game has just gotten an amazing update called The Awakening. If you want to check out the game, by the way, there is a link in the description. We're going to start a new game right now and just get a new run going. And this is going to be a bit more relaxed. So I'm basically just going to go through a relatively sort of mid-tier difficulty run, just so that we can see a full run from the perspective of one of the new dragons, because these have all been reworked. Every single dragon has been reworked in a significant fashion. So as you can see right here, black aspect. Every slain minion or enemy is consumed by the void, creating a black whelp. You start with plus 200 attack, and you have additional cards that have been added to your deck straight away. You also have a black rage power, consume all void tiles, and you deal 1000 extra damage for each void tile consumed. This requires 200 rage. Then you have the blue aspect, can evolve during a run. Draw plus one more card every turn. While in baby dragon form, you gain plus 100 attack permanently at the end of combat. So there's obviously strategy involved there. And you can see here that your rage power allows you to evolve to Drake, and then it allows you to evolve to Dragon. And then when you get to Dragon, your rage power base damage is now 5000. And it also applies Frost to 10 random tiles, which requires 100 rage. So 5000 damage from rage. That is actually insane if you think about it. Then you have the golden aspect. Has two states, Thunderlord state and Earthbender state. Exhausting a card grants plus 10 rage. You start with plus 1 max HP. AP, not HP, AP. Earthbender, next Earth card played will not exhaust. Thunderlord, next lightning card played will be charged. And you added lightning cards to this particular aspect. And then you have a golden rage power. Rage power base damage is 2000. It requires targeting. It applies lightning to the targeted area. Then you have the green aspect. By the way, all of these aspects have unique things, right? So unique sprites, like models, right? Unique sprites, unique models in the game itself, which I personally think is absolutely fantastic. Creates acidity room effect, stacks poison gas, immune to poison card damage, element added poison. Green rage power, well, the power base is now 1000. All poison bolts damage increased by 200 every time rage power is used. So these are all insanely cool in my opinion. I think the black aspect sounds maybe the most fun, with the exception of the blue aspect. I think the blue aspect could be really, really enjoyable too. We're gonna start with the black aspect. I don't think the red aspect has been changed that much, apart from the fact that fire cards deal double damage. But obviously we've kind of seen that already, so I don't really want to play the same thing. So we're just going to play this, and I am literally just going to play with the same exact talents that I had beforehand. I'm not going to change anything. I'm not going to play with any boss mechanics, because I don't really want to. And what we're going to do is, as I said before, we're going to be doing, let's see, we're going to change it so that they just have one passive. I don't really care about the armament right now. I have literally played on 40 armament, which I think isn't there a higher armament level now or something like that? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. The fact is, this is just, as I said, a chill run, just so that we can see the new aspects and what they are capable of. This is going to be very, very intriguing, because it's been a while since I've played this game, and I would love to be able to see the new sprites, the new models and everything. It does take a little bit of time to get you into the first thing. Here we go, look! Look at how cool we look right here. Look at how insanely cool this is. And now we are going to be, yes, we have dark fireballs, as you can see. We also have dark breath, and we have dark runes. Okay, play dark rune. Okay, apply dark. Okay, yeah, we're just going to apply dark right there, I guess. And then we'll just do this. It dodged. Why did it dodge? Are you serious that it dodged? That is hilarious. Oh, what a classic. That is so hilarious. Like, as soon as I attack with something insanely big, it dodges. Isn't that just a classic? That is just fundamentally always what's going to happen, isn't it? It's just great. Okay, well, whatever the case, we are going to get some armor here, and I'm just going to do some damage. Because obviously I don't want to take any damage from the backstab. Thank you. Thank you very much. I do remember how to play the game to a certain degree, so we're obviously going to try our best here. This thing is literally... Are you serious right now? It literally dodged twice in a row. Did you see that? It dodged twice in a row. That is a 15% chance to dodge, and it did it twice. I have a feeling that is completely and utterly impossible. I think there's one of those cases. Okay, yeah, well, whatever the case, we are just gonna let it go, you know. I'm just gonna let it go, and we'll just see what we can do here. So, Dark Rune, I'm gonna play that round about here. We can do 1,000 damage with this. Then we can do that. Can we spread these? No, it seems like we can't spread these. There is no way. It gives plus 1,000 attack to Nightbinder. I don't know what that means, but I guess we'll find out sometime soon in the future. I think the blue aspect is probably going to be the most strategic character. Whoa. Okay, that's insane. Do you see this? Look at this. 6,500 damage to heroes and 5,500 damage to other enemies. It consumes all void tiles. I don't know what the void tiles actually do when people stand on them. I have no idea what that actually does. I guess what we're going to do is we're just going to use our rage and just kill everything. Get the gold as well. And that's it. There you go. Okay, so do we want Unleash? No, not really. I don't really want it to ignite anything. That's kind of annoying. We will go for Whirlwind, though, just because we do have something that synergizes with that. So we might as well, you know, try to synergize even more. And here we go. All right, so... This is maybe going to be a bit difficult, because this guy has the ability to very quickly snowball. He's very, very capable of that. So I'm a bit worried about it, but I think we'll be okay. Or at least I hope so. There's a whelp. Okay, yeah, so this is actually the first time that we've had the opportunity to see a little bit of the passive that we have, which is every single enemy that we kill is turned into a whelp, which I think is absolutely insane. I think I can do that right here. Yeah, look at that. I can literally do that every single time. That is kind of crazy. So let's do this. No. Nope. Okay, we're getting a bit unlucky with that. That's kind of unfortunate. Oh well, never mind. Yeah, so... yeah, she's dead too. Okay, so let's have a look and actually see what happens here, because this guy is obviously now going to have to deal with these whelps at the same time. This is going to be kind of interesting. I'm not sure what, as I say, I'm not entirely sure what the void tiles actually do. Let me see if I can... here we go. No, all it does, or shall we say all it says, is that it gives plus 1,000 attack to Nightbinder. I don't know who or what Nightbinder is. Maybe I've forgotten who that is or something. I wouldn't be able to tell you, so I guess that's just, you know, double dumbass on me or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, we should be completely fine here. I mean, this guy is not going to be able to kill us in any way, shape, or form, but he is kind of harsh, you know? He is kind of harsh. I mean, he's doing some damage at least. I'm just going to try and spawn as many void zones as possible, because we are gaining well, we're getting rage every single time we do things. And I do want to try and... there we go. Okay, yeah, we can literally just cast this straight away. Look at this. We are doing 8,000 damage! 8,000 damage with this. It does take a long time to charge up, unfortunately, which is the main problem here. What is the initial attack of Smile Man? I think it's 5,000. Yep. I haven't played this game in quite some time, and yet I remembered that. Isn't that amazing? Yes, I can't believe it. I can't believe it myself. Okay, so there is a city node here. That is highly, highly unlikely I'm going to be able to do that. We could do the merchant. Let's go into the merchant and actually see. Okay, this is all absolutely terrible. Upheaval is okay, and so is body slam, but we're going to do the death roll. Okay, cross your fingers for 5,000 gold, or however much gold we're going to get. No, we lost 5,000 HP instead. Okay, that's wonderful. I love that. And we lost all of our money. Well, that's wonderful too, isn't it? That's the classic roguelike, you know? It's the classic roguelike for you, isn't it? You know, you do, you know, some random thing. You go into some random gambling area, and then you just immediately get murdered, you know? It's just how it goes. It's hilarious. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are immediately going to kill 2 of these. Yeah, let's just do that. There we go. Get those 2. We're just going to get two whelps. That's it. We're just going to get 2 whelps because that's what I want. And then we'll hopefully be... I hope that they don't get killed immediately. I kind of hope they won't get killed immediately. No, it doesn't seem like it. Okay, so that's pretty nice. And now what we can do is we can literally do this. And now we have literal 5 whelps. This would be a really, really good build with whelps, by the way. I think, well, shall we say, it would be a good build if you had specialization in whelps. I obviously didn't do that because I was just going to play for the rage power because that's what I wanted to do. But of course you could play slightly differently and you could make it so that your main goal is to get as many whelps on the field as possible, which in general is actually a good idea. Don't get me wrong. I think that is indeed a good idea because as you can see, look at how many how much damage we have available here, and the whelps are going to be combining to create even more damage. They do have that possibility. There is that possibility, and they are doing that, as you can quite clearly tell. And indeed, I am going to be doing quite a lot of damage to her right now, and I think she might actually die from this. She might die right now? No, almost 100 HP remaining. But yes, she is certainly dead now. There we go. Dodged, of course. Yes, isn't that's such a classic. Every single time she's about to die, boom, you know, dodge. Yeah, it's hilarious. Anyway, there we go. Okay, so the question is, do we want to go into the twins? Sure. This is going to be kind of harsh. I'm not sure if we're even going to be able to do this, to be honest. I don't really have very much faith in my ability to do this, but I guess we'll just try it out and see whether we can make it happen. We might be able to. Bear in mind, there is no spreading of the void zones. It doesn't work like that with the whirlwind. The frost thing with the blue dragon as well, I actually don't think frost can be spread either. But as I said, I haven't really played a huge amount of the game with the new update, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there is very little you can do to the new tiles. Because if you could, well, maybe you can. I don't know. Maybe you can to a certain degree. I'm actually not entirely sure. So let me know. By the way, let me know if you like in the comments. I don't really mind if you want to. And otherwise, we'll just continue bombarding. Unfortunately, my rage generation is so incredibly low right now, which is a little bit disappointing, I have to admit. I'm not a terribly big fan of that. This is pretty good, though, actually. Being able to... yeah, this is... here we go. Yes, we could do this. And then I might be able to do this. There we go. Okay, I kind of wanted a little bit more damage from that, but oh well, never mind. Okay. Yeah, I kind of wanted to get some of these guys dead, because technically the gold veins count as enemies, right? They do count as enemies, so I could theoretically spawn a whelp, right? I think I could probably spawn a whelp underneath the gold veins, and we could get 2 whelps on the field, which would actually be pretty cool. But unfortunately, no, it doesn't seem like that is going to happen for me right now. So we are going to just have to do this instead. And then... What? They both died? Really? Oh, okay. I certainly wasn't thinking that was going to happen. I guess we'll get the whelp. Dragon's Greed. There we go. We could get Tail Swipe if we wanted to, or we could get Shredder, but that's melee. I don't really want either one of these things, so we're just going to skip it. Even though getting as many cards as possible is actually kind of the point of the build that I'm currently using, but you know, I can't really do much about that right now. We're just going to have to deal with it as it goes. I actually think that we might not even be able to appropriately do this. Hilariously enough, I think it might actually be impossible. So let's just see here. Yeah, this might not actually be doable. There's a whelp. Okay, yeah, this is just a standard whelp as well. It's not actually a dark whelp or anything like that, so that's kind of sad. Okay, well, I guess... How many? We've got 3 turns remaining. I might be able to make it work. I doubt it, but I might be able to. Let's just spawn some of these, I guess. Yeah, that's all I can really do, unfortunately. Okay, so we can do this. It does nothing. Well, that's great. Okay, I guess I could do this, and that's going to get me a whelp, right? It didn't? Okay, so gold veins don't count as whelps. Okay, well, there you go. There we go. There's the mystery. The mystery has been solved, if it was a mystery to begin with. And I'm basically just going to be playing a bunch of stuff here just to make sure that we get as much rage as possible. But the funny thing is, I actually don't think that that is going to make any difference. It doesn't look as though it is going to make any difference whatsoever. So it looks as though this is definitely going to be a complete yeah. That is a huge fail there, and it seems like the black dragon aspect has a really hard time doing that. If you have exactly 4 tornadoes, deal 3,000 damage to the hero at the end of the turn. I mean, that is very niche. That's an extremely niche ability there, but could be useful. There's a possibility that we might be able to do something with that, but I am highly doubtful that that is going to be the case. So I guess we'll just try it out and we'll see what happens, but I highly doubt that's going to be doing anything good. Now, this guy is going to be kind of difficult for us. If we do end up dying, by the way, that's absolutely fine. I don't really mind that. Legend in Flesh. Create 3 pyro cards. The cost is 0 AP this turn. That is actually kind of useful. Useless, shall we say, as well. Primarily because... The reason why that's useless is because we're not really going to be creating that many lava tiles. At least, from what I can see, we're not really creating that many lava tiles, so it doesn't really help me that much. Which is a bit sad, you know, that is a bit sad, but you know, that's just how it goes. I think the black dragon aspect is definitely an interesting character to play as. I'm gonna let this spawn on purpose because I want to see if I can maybe get a whelp from it. But the thing is, it's a very slow character. You know, it's a very slow character, and as a result, like for example right now, look at what I can do right here. We can literally just use rage and probably, well, we can definitely do massive damage, but the problem is that this guy has, well, basically he has too much of everything right now, so I can't really do anything to him just yet. But we can maybe do this. There we go. We can do all of that, which is kind of nice, and we got a whelp now, which is pretty good too. But as I said, this would be much better if he could generate rage that much faster. I think the talents are needing maybe a little bit of a look at those. I actually don't know, but as you can see right here, the black dragon aspect is very slow. It feels very slow to use, which I have to admit is kind of harsh. I think that's going to be very difficult to actually utilize appropriately. So not sure if I'm really convinced about the black dragon aspect right now, but it does have that really cool effect of basically having an automatic summoning, right? It has literally an automatic summon, which I think is really fun. But you know what we're gonna do? Considering I'm actually just having a look at the aspects. Let's play a new game, okay? Let's play a new game, and let's actually go with the blue dragon aspect here, because this is probably the most interesting one that I've seen so far, because it allows you to evolve within the actual game, and we're gonna see how that goes. I think this could be very, very useful and very, very fun. And we're just going to go with this. I don't think I'm going to be doing any kind of whelp build or anything like that. And we're basically just going to play like this. I don't know how this is going to really go, because we're going to start with less attack as far as I'm aware. We're going to start with less attack, so it is going to be a little bit, maybe a little bit problematic to a certain degree. And we're starting with 20,000 HP, as you can see here as well, because I am indeed, look at me, look at us. We are indeed a little baby. Yes, we are a little baby dragon. Very cute, I gotta say that. It is very, very cute, but as you can quite clearly tell, we are now going to have to play very carefully here. Okay, so let's do this. I don't want to... well, basically, I don't want to do anything, as in, like, I do not want to use rage, and I do want to kill her as soon as possible. I basically want to kill the opponent as fast as I possibly can. You can see here we're creating frost as much as possible. Now, the main reason why we're doing that is because she can slip on the frost, and blizzard is indeed going to be a thing that we want to do, right? But unfortunately, blizzard needs to be in a 4 stack. You need to get a stack of 4 in this area here because of the conjure trait. This card must be played on tiles with the same element and shape. So if you, for example, put your frost in that formation, then you're going to be able to use blizzard, but you can't use it otherwise. So that's a very, very interesting mechanic there, because you're going to have to work with that quite a great deal. Anyway, we now have plus 400. Let's see. Okay, let's do something like this, I guess, and then we'll just do that. Well, I technically should have done it the other way around, but I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter, you know? It doesn't really matter at all. The only thing that we really need to do right now is just literally do frost breath, and it's dead. Yes, immediately dead. There we go. And we can also do whirlwind. I think we'll probably do whirlwind instead of Fisher. And we'll get the 2000 max HP. And we'll go into... Ooh, Ezek the Bard. This is a very difficult... Huh. I have a bad feeling about this. I feel like maybe I'm not going to be able to do this as Baby Dragon, because we've only got 17,000 HP. It might not be possible. The Bard is one of the stronger early game opponents, so I'm not really thinking that I'm going to do very well here, but I guess we can just try it out and see what happens. Do this for each tornado. There we go. We got plus 200 from that, and then we can maybe do this, which is going to kill both of those, which I guess is okay. And then that's it. That's all we can really do. I mean, that's the funny thing. The Bard is definitely going to be more difficult because he also, as far as I'm aware, has the ability to summon quite a few enemies. So it's going to be a bit problematic. I don't really want to use this here, but I kind of have to because he's going to be the one doing a lot of damage to us right now. So we're just going to have to, you know, bite the bullet, as it were. And there's phase 2, hilariously enough. Okay, so we can now apply frost. And then apply frost. And bear in mind that every single frost that we apply is, in fact, going to buff our frost breath, right? So that's obviously a really, really big deal. Unfortunately, when you don't get the frost breath, which I'm not at the moment, as you can see, I'm not getting any frost breath right now, it is actually kind of bad. But we've got vortex slash, so I am using that a little bit. Yeah, this is gonna be harsh. Because as you can see, now he is literally doing so much damage to us. And again, I do not have it. Look at that. I do not have it. So we might in fact die. We might just die from this. He has 2700 attack at the moment. But I'm trying to survive as many of these as I can. Yeah, we're gonna have to just do that, unfortunately. I wanted to destroy the gold veins too, but the area that we have is very small with the frost breath. So just bear that in mind. I'm just gonna skip that. Don't want anything that can remove frost from the field. Hellfire fuses. If 4 firebomb explode in one turn, apply 5 fire and 5 earth randomly. This is actually a pretty cool relic, but I'm actually gonna sell it. Because I'm not going to use fire bombs. So I'm going to sell it. Let's go into the merchant. Let's see what we get here. This is all not exactly great. Let's go for the death roll. Let's just cross our fingers. We might be kind of lucky. AP. All right. Okay, that's pretty nice. I like that. And let's see what else we can get. Okay, we got a little bit of HP. I guess that's also somewhat decent. I mean, it's not great. You know, I'm not really caring about that too much. Okay, so these are all relatively difficult. So I'm thinking right now, random event. Okay, what do we have here? Am I going to die instantly if I do this? No. There we go. We're going to gain 200 attack from that. And now we're going to be heading into the Magus. Okay, this is actually going to be a little bit difficult. So I'm thinking right now that what we're going to do is we're going to evolve to the Blue Drake. Yes, we're actually going to do that. So let's evolve straight away. And there we go. We are now big. And look at me. I am now full HP. Yes, full HP. Is that crazy? Yeah, that is crazy. So we are now going to just do this. And then we are going to use this just to push everyone into each other, do damage to them, of course. And then we'll just play, I guess we'll just play this for each tornado. Yeah, I guess we could kind of do that. I mean, it's not really that useful, but I guess. Do this. That doesn't really do anything. Okay. Yeah, classic. Alright, well, here's the thing. I was going to die in pretty much the first turn, as far as I could tell, if I did not do that. But now we have to generate 300 rage. Just bear that in mind. 300 rage is really quite insane. So I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do that. But we're going to try it, you know? We're going to try it. We're going to see how it goes. Okay, so Frost Breath, let's see. I'm just going to play that straight up there. Just push these guys back a little bit. And I don't have anything else. But we have 4 AP now, which is actually really, really nice. And I love the fact that they have added these unique sprites to the game. Because it's just so... it's so much more immersive now. It's just so good. It really is. Because you don't have the red dragon anymore, you know, when you pick the blue aspect or anything like that. You've got actual fundamental cosmetic changes. And I think that really makes a huge difference. Unfortunately, there are a couple of bugs in the game as well right now, which is a little bit unfortunate because, as you can quite clearly tell, I can't do anything. It's not allowing me. It's not allowing me to move. So that's kind of unfortunate, but yeah, I just wanted to make this video because I love this game. I think this game is absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, I could go to the main menu. Maybe I can press continue. Okay, there we go. And now I can continue onward. So that's not actually that bad. But yeah, the point is, there are a couple of bugs. So, you know, just bear that in mind. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to just actually move these guys. Try to get them out of here. Unfortunately, this is probably one of the worst passives that I could have gotten with this particular character. Because, as you can quite clearly see, it's very, very difficult for us to do anything when he is just consistently, well, when they're consistently on top of us. It's very, very difficult to do anything with that, so I'm not sure how I'm gonna survive. It might not be possible, to be honest. It might not be possible. So, yeah, that's the point. I have not played these before, right? I have not played these before, so I was just very excited to start playing because I love, as I say, I love this game, so I was wanting to get in there and see what was actually going on with the new changes and everything. And oh, that was some massive damage. That was really nice. Okay, Blizzard attacks everyone on the screen. I did not actually realize that. Ah, okay, well that changes things quite dramatically. That means that what I should really do is create a section specifically for Blizzard so that I can do those things. Okay, I did not realize that. Okay, very, very interesting. For some reason, I only got one card there as well. I don't know why I only got one card. Maybe it's this guy doing something that makes it possible for me to only get one card or something like that. I actually don't know, but yeah, anyway. That is going to be it for this episode. And as I said, this game is just getting better and better. If they can just narrow down some of these bugs and some of these, kind of annoying things that tend to happen, like, for example, as you saw, just now, I don't know why that kind of stuff happens, because the game has actually been running really, really well for me. But yeah, look at how many cards I have now. Why do I have so many cards now, but before I didn't? I don't know why. That is kind of strange, but yeah. Anyway, I love this game. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I think you should probably check it out, to be honest. You should really just check it out. It's great. It really is fantastic. And I actually want to do a run with, do a proper run with something. I'm not entirely sure what to play yet, which aspect I'm going to like the most. But actually, you know what? I want to get to evolve to the blue dragon just so that we can see what that actually entails, because I'm pretty sure it's going to look relatively similar, but I think it's going to be fun, right? It's going to be fun to sort of see that, so that's what I'm going to try to do right now. There's Blizzard, we can do that. It does remove the frost when we use Blizzard, which is a little bit unfortunate. Not a big fan of that, but that's just me. We can do this, there we go. Technically what would be really good is if we got the relic that does damage when enemies move. That would be fantastic. Yeah, anyway, so now we can use this to evolve to the blue dragon, and as you can see, we now have frost wings. We literally have wings made of ice. That is absolutely fantastic. And indeed, as you can see, we now have 75,000 HP, and our rage does this now. You deal 7,000 damage to heroes and 6,000 damage to other enemies. So very, very strong, as you might imagine. And it only requires 100 rage. So it's basically as strong as the Black Dragon with 50% of the cost, which is actually really, really nice in my opinion. But yeah, anyway, that is going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.